There are people in your life who may seem harmless at first, but what if I told you that some of them could be manipulating your reality in ways you never imagined? It's not always about the obvious signs. Sometimes, the most dangerous people are the ones who operate in the shadows, pulling strings behind the scenes. These individuals aren't just emotionally toxic, they might be using spiritual tactics you'd never expect. What if I told you that C.S. Lewis, a master of spiritual insight, warned about specific behaviors that could point to someone being far more than just a tricky character, maybe even a witch in disguise? You see, witchcraft isn't always about cauldrons or spells. It's about control, manipulation, and hidden agendas. And in today's world, these practices can be harder to spot than ever before. In this video, we'll dive into 5 signs that someone in your life could be practicing witchcraft or engaging in dark spiritual practices, often without you even knowing it. We'll explore behaviors that seem innocent, but may actually be red flags, like when someone is always fishing for personal information, or when you notice an eerie pattern of failure following your every success. These are more than just coincidences. They could be spiritual tactics at work. Now, before we dive deep into these signs, let me make something clear. You don't have to believe in witchcraft to recognize the patterns I'm about to show you. These signs are rooted in basic human behavior, and once you know what to look for, you'll start seeing them everywhere. So, with that in mind, let's jump right into it and take a closer look at the first sign that someone in your life might be far more than they seem. Sign number 1. They constantly fish for personal information. This relentless pursuit of personal information is the first sign that someone in your life might be a witch, drawing from the insightful observations of C.S. Lewis. These individuals often exhibit persistent prying behavior, continuously asking questions that go beyond casual conversation. Whether it's a coworker who always wants to know about your weekend plans or a friend who seems overly interested in your personal life, this constant fishing for details can be a red flag. Their behavior is not just about curiosity. It often signifies a deeper intention to gain control or leverage over you. The intrusiveness of their inquiries can make you feel uncomfortable and exposed. They delve into intimate aspects of your life that you might prefer to keep private, such as your relationships, finances, or personal struggles. This sense of entitlement to your business creates an environment where you feel constantly monitored or judged. It's as if they believe they have the right to know everything about you, which can be both emotionally draining and spiritually unsettling. This overstepping of boundaries is not just a personality quirk, but a strategic move to establish dominance and influence. Understanding the motivation behind their questions is crucial. These individuals are not seeking to understand or support you genuinely. Instead, they aim to gather information that can be used to manipulate or influence your decisions. When you try to set boundaries or withhold information, they often react negatively, showing frustration or suspicion. This reaction is a clear indicator that their intent is not based on genuine interest, but on controlling you through the knowledge they've acquired. Recognizing this pattern is essential in identifying their true intentions and protecting yourself from potential manipulation. Over time, a consistent pattern of intrusive questioning reveals their true purpose: control rather than genuine interest. These repeated behaviors are not coincidental, but part of a deliberate strategy to maintain influence over you. This pattern can also extend to subtle sabotage, where sharing your dreams or plans with them leads to unexpected setbacks or obstacles. For instance, you might share your aspiration to start a business, only to encounter unexplained challenges that hinder your progress. These negative outcomes following disclosures are significant red flags that the person may be using your information against you, intentionally or subconsciously, disrupting your path to success. Biblical insight offers valuable guidance in protecting yourself from such influences. Proverbs 4:23 advises, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." This scripture emphasizes the importance of safeguarding your innermost thoughts and plans from those who might misuse them. By being cautious about what you share and with whom, you can protect your spiritual and personal well-being. Taking protective measures, such as moving in silence, setting clear boundaries, and being mindful of energy patterns, ensures that you maintain control over your own life and shield yourself from manipulative forces. Remember, your heart and personal information are sacred, and guarding them is essential for maintaining your integrity and peace of mind. Sign number 2. They engage in idolatry. Engaging in idolatry is the second sign that someone might be a witch in your life, drawing from C.S. Lewis's exploration of human behavior and spirituality. Idolatry involves placing something or someone above God in terms of importance, reverence, or worship. This can manifest in various forms, such as the worship of celebrities, material wealth, personal achievements, or even oneself. When someone elevates these aspects above their spiritual beliefs, it disrupts their spiritual balance and can have a profound impact on those around them. Modern idolatry takes many shapes in today's society. For example, celebrity worship has become increasingly prevalent, with fans treating celebrities as divine figures, defending them blindly and ignoring their flaws. Similarly, materialism is rampant, with an excessive focus on wealth, status, or possessions becoming a form of idolatry. Individuals who prioritize these material aspects often place personal success and acquisition above spiritual growth and moral values. Self-idolization is another common form, where individuals place themselves on a pedestal, seeking constant admiration and valuing personal achievements above all else. This self-centered behavior not only distorts their value system, but also affects their interactions and relationships. The consequences of idolatry are far-reaching and deeply rooted in one's character. When anything is idolized, it takes away from the reverence due to God, leading to a distorted value system. This shift can result in negative traits such as arrogance, jealousy, and selfishness, reflecting the flawed nature of the idolized entity. For instance, an individual who idolizes wealth may become greedy and lose their sense of humility, becoming overly self-reliant or prideful. Pursuing the ideals of the idol rather than adhering to God's principles can lead to ethical and moral compromises, weakening their spiritual foundation and integrity. Biblical teachings provide clear guidance on the dangers of idolatry. Exodus 20:3-4 states, "You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below." This commandment explicitly forbids the worship of anything other than God, emphasizing the importance of maintaining spiritual focus. In today's context, while the forms of idolatry may differ, the fundamental principle remains the same. Whether it's the allure of materialism, the fascination with celebrity culture, or the temptation of self-idolization, these modern forms of idolatry still violate this fundamental biblical principle, underscoring the need for vigilance and spiritual discernment. To protect yourself and others from the influences of idolatry, it's essential to prioritize God in all aspects of life. Focus your worship and reverence solely on God, avoiding the elevation of any other entities or pursuits. Distance yourself from influences that promote idolatry, whether they be people, media, or material pursuits that encourage placing other things above spiritual values. Cultivating spiritual focus through practices such as prayer, study, and worship strengthens your relationship with God and maintains your spiritual clarity and resilience. By recognizing and addressing idolatrous behavior, you can foster healthier, more spiritually aligned relationships and environments, free from the distortions and conflicts caused by misplaced priorities. Sign number 3. They love manipulation and control. This is the third sign that someone in your life might be a witch, as highlighted by C.S. Lewis's exploration of human interactions and spiritual influence. Individuals who love manipulation and control seek to dominate others to feel powerful and significant. Their underlying motivation is not based on mutual respect or genuine connection, but on establishing dominance and influence over others for their own benefit. Manipulators employ various tactics to maintain their control. Emotional manipulation is a common strategy, where they use guilt-tripping, gaslighting, or emotional blackmail to influence your decisions and actions. Coercion and deceit are also prevalent, as these individuals may twist words, lie, or create false narratives to keep you under their influence. For example, a manipulative friend might make you feel guilty for not spending enough time with them, or deceive you into believing that you need their approval for your decisions. These tactics create an unhealthy dynamic, where you feel constantly undermined and controlled. The impact of such manipulation on relationships is profound and often devastating. Relationships marked by manipulation and control are typically toxic and unhealthy, characterized by imbalance and a lack of genuine connection. Instead of fostering trust and mutual respect, these relationships breed resentment and emotional turmoil. For instance, a romantic relationship built on manipulation may leave one partner feeling powerless and the other feeling entitled to make all the decisions. This imbalance disrupts the natural flow of a healthy relationship, leading to emotional distress and spiritual conflict. Biblical teachings offer strong warnings against manipulation and control. Galatians 5:1 states, "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm, then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery." This verse emphasizes the importance of spiritual freedom and warns against allowing oneself to be enslaved by manipulative forces. It encourages believers to resist attempts by others to impose control or manipulation over their lives, highlighting the value of maintaining personal freedom and integrity. By standing firm in your faith and recognizing manipulative behaviors, you can protect yourself from falling into unhealthy and controlling relationships. To safeguard yourself from manipulation and control, it's essential to recognize the tactics used by such individuals. Pay attention to signs like guilt and fear being used to influence your decisions, emotional games that distort your perception, and consistent boundary violations that disrespect your personal limits. Developing defensive strategies, such as setting firm boundaries, seeking discernment through prayer, and relying on God's freedom, can help you resist these manipulative forces. By prioritizing your spiritual well-being and maintaining clear boundaries, you can foster healthier, more respectful relationships and protect yourself from those who seek to control and manipulate for their own gain. Sign number 4. They practice or encourage occult activities. This is the fourth sign that someone in your life might be a witch, drawing from C.S. Lewis's deep understanding of spirituality and human behavior. Engaging in or encouraging occult activities is a significant indicator of someone who may be involved in witchcraft, as these practices often aim to manipulate spiritual forces outside of divine guidance. The occult encompasses a wide range of practices, including magic, divination, voodoo, fortune-telling, and various forms of witchcraft. In modern times, these practices can manifest in everyday life through the use of crystals, candles, rituals, and other symbolic acts. For example, someone might use crystals for healing or perform candle magic to influence certain outcomes. While these activities may appear harmless or even trendy, they often involve tapping into spiritual energies that can disrupt the natural spiritual order and invite negative influences. Individuals who practice or encourage occult activities often seek shortcuts to power, answers to life's questions, or a sense of control outside of God's design. Their motivation is typically rooted in a desire to manipulate outcomes or influence others without relying on divine guidance or spiritual principles. This quest for control can lead them to engage in practices that are spiritually harmful and contrary to biblical teachings. For instance, someone might use love spells to control a romantic relationship or engage in divination to predict and influence future events, bypassing the need for faith and trust in God. The consequences of involvement in occult activities are profound and spiritually damaging. Engaging in the occult opens doors to spiritual harm, inviting dark forces that are beyond human control. These practices disrupt the natural spiritual balance, leading to negative spiritual consequences and vulnerabilities. Over time, persistent involvement in the occult can result in ongoing spiritual struggles and a weakened connection to divine guidance. This spiritual imbalance not only affects the individual but also those around them, creating an environment fraught with negativity and spiritual unrest. Biblical teachings provide clear prohibitions against occult practices. Deuteronomy 18:10-12 states, "Let no one be found among you who sacrifices their son or daughter in the fire, who practices divination or sorcery, interprets omens, engages in witchcraft, or casts spells, or who is a medium or spiritist, or who consults the dead." This scripture explicitly condemns these activities as abominations, highlighting their incompatibility with a life of faith. It underscores God's authority over spiritual matters and the importance of adhering to His commandments to maintain spiritual purity and protection. To protect yourself from occult influences, it's essential to stay rooted in God's truth and avoid activities, groups, or individuals that promote or engage in occult practices. Cultivating a strong relationship with God through prayer, study, and worship strengthens your spiritual defenses against such influences. Additionally, putting on God's armor, as advised in Ephesians 6:11, equips you to stand firm against spiritual attacks and temptations. By maintaining spiritual clarity and resilience, you can safeguard yourself from the deceptive allure of the occult and ensure that your spiritual journey remains aligned with divine guidance and protection. Sign number 5. Negative patterns follow their presence. This is the fifth and final sign that someone in your life might be a witch, as illuminated by C.S. Lewis's insights into human interactions and spiritual dynamics. When negative patterns consistently follow someone's presence, it indicates a potential spiritual interference that disrupts your personal and spiritual growth. Consistent negative outcomes are a strong indicator of spiritual interference. Repeated obstacles and setbacks that arise after sharing your plans or good news with a particular person suggest that their influence may be undermining your progress. For instance, you might share your excitement about a new job opportunity, only to encounter unexpected challenges that hinder your success. These recurring negative events create a cycle of frustration and stalled progress, making it difficult to move forward in your personal and spiritual endeavors. Underlying jealousy or sabotage often fuels these negative patterns. Individuals who harbor feelings of jealousy, envy, or bitterness may not openly express these emotions, but instead manifest them through their actions. Subtle sabotage tactics, such as spreading negativity, creating doubt, or directly interfering with your plans, can significantly impact your ability to achieve your goals. Even if their actions are not intentionally malicious, their negative energy can inadvertently cause disturbances and blockages in your life, making it essential to recognize and address these influences. Biblical assurance provides comfort and protection against such negative patterns. Isaiah 54:17 states, "No weapon forged against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and this is their vindication from me, declares the Lord." This verse offers a promise of divine protection, ensuring that negative attempts to harm you will ultimately fail. It encourages believers to trust in God's protection and not be overwhelmed by the negative patterns caused by others, reinforcing the importance of faith and reliance on divine strength. To recognize and combat negative influences, it's essential to observe recurrent patterns and assess how people react to your good news. Notice if negative events consistently follow interactions with certain individuals, indicating a pattern of interference. Pay attention to how people respond when you share positive developments. Lack of genuine enthusiasm or subtle negativity can be significant indicators. Identifying sabotage signs, such as frequent obstacles or unexplained failures after sharing plans, helps you understand the underlying issues. Implementing protective measures like prayer for wisdom, setting clear boundaries, moving in silence, and trusting in God's authority can shield you from these negative influences, ensuring that your progress remains unhindered and your spiritual journey stays on track. Identifying these 5 signs can significantly enhance your awareness of the spiritual dynamics in your relationships. By recognizing when someone is persistently fishing for personal information, engaging in idolatry, manipulating and controlling situations, practicing or encouraging occult activities, or causing negative patterns to follow their presence, you can take proactive steps to protect your spiritual well-being. Remember the wisdom of C.S. Lewis and the biblical teachings that guide us in maintaining healthy and positive connections. Protecting your energy and setting clear boundaries are essential practices in safeguarding yourself from negative influences. Cultivating a strong relationship with God through prayer, study, and worship will help you stay grounded and resilient against any attempts to disrupt your spiritual journey. By staying vigilant and applying these insights, you can navigate your relationships with confidence and grace, ensuring that your interactions are uplifting and supportive. Thank you for watching and joining us on this enlightening exploration. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more content on spiritual well-being and personal growth. Stay blessed, and may you continue to walk in light and truth.